This new glitch is the brand new best weapon in all of LEGO Fortnite Odyssey. And just like most glitches and tips that I post, they will get patched by Epic, so make sure that you are all subscribed to the channel with notifications on. That way you can take full advantage of this. It's one of the most overpowered things in the game right now, and I promise you're going to want to be using this. So let's talk about what we need to take full advantage of this, and that's going to be a crafting bench, and then go in and craft ourselves a brand new spear. If you already have one that comes along with a Shatterhorn fragment on it, you guys are good to use just that. But you're going to want to make the best weapon in the game, which is going to be the purple epic or Shatterhorn spear that comes along with Zapping tier 4, as that's going to be the item that is truly the most glitched right now. But you guys can use this with any weapon in the game if you prefer to use a sword, dagger, or crossbow. The next thing that we're going to need is a ton of stink jars, and the best way that you are going to get these is getting the glands from Klombo. So grab as many roasted clomberries as you can, give them the Klombo, and he'll give you so many stink glands that you're not going to know what to do with them. But now you know what to do, and that's all thanks to SnowJT and Jarv in my Discord server. SnowJT posted this about a month ago using a trick when it came to the stink jars, and Jarv told us all about this glitch and really how to use it the best. So make sure that you guys are inside of the Discord server as well to get tips and tricks before I even upload them. But once you've done this, you're going to grab all of the stink glands from Klombo, and we're going to turn those into stink jars. In order to make the jars, we are going to need glass as well as the stink glands. And something that you can do is have a villager working on the metal smelter, because they can make glass for you, which is going to be the jar. Alternatively, you could just put sand in here with any type of wood, deposit 80 of them, and you'll earn some of the metal or the glass that way as well. But villagers will give you a decent amount of this, along with a bunch of other pretty useful materials. During today's video, I'm going to make and use about 100 total stink jars. Although that's a little bit excessive, I'm going to show you another trick that I like to use that I've talked about in a ton of videos to really maximize this glitch before Epic patches it. So I would go in and get as much glass and stink glands as you can to make as many stink jars as you can, as this is really the only item that we're going to be using. Even though we have ourselves a Shatterhorn weapon, you're going to notice that you're not going to be using it that much, but you're still going to get the benefits and the perks with that Shatterhorn spear. I think heading over to the Storm King area is the best place to do this, not only because it's completely free. As you can see, when you're at the bottom of the staircase, it tells you that you need 10 Eye of the Storm to get in. However, if you walk directly up to the empty portal, it'll then tell you that you can enter the Tempest area completely free. And inside of here is where we're going to take advantage of this glitch. You want to put your stink jar in your offhand and then your Shatterhorn spear into your main hand. Now let's get a little bit crazy. With our stink jar in our offhand and our spear in our main hand, we're going to throw our stink jar down on every single respawner that comes up. It's not going to damage the respawner, so that the enemies are just going to continue to come, which means that we're going to be able to farm a ton of materials. That's not the glitch though. The glitch has to do with Zapping tier 4 and the stink jars. The way that this works is Zapping normally will activate when you do damage using your weapon. So if you're using a crossbow or you're using a spear and you hit an enemy, it'll use the zapping effect and continue to do more damage. However, because we're using these stink jars, it activates when you're doing damage. So even though we're not using the spear, we're still getting the zapping effect, except it's working on the stink jars. So as long as more than one enemy is inside of the stink area, you're going to be putting out damage not only from the stink jar, but also from the Zapping tier 4. Now here's what makes it even better than that. When you're using this, even though you're using the zapping, it's not actually pulling from your weapon, which means you're never losing any durability from your weapon, even though it's using the runes that's on it. So you can come inside of the Storm King area, throw down these stink jars at all of the respawners, continue to do a ton of damage using this rifted weapon or using this zapping tier 4 weapon, and you're never losing any durability, except you're just getting free materials that are being dropped by all of these enemies. And in order to truly maximize this, what I was doing was throwing stink jars directly below me, that way that the enemies would spawn into them and take damage, and then throw a stink jar inside or on top of all of the respawners. That kind of made it to where the enemies were constantly getting hit by stink jars and also zapping, which nearly insta-killed them whenever I placed these down. I was able to farm hundreds of materials or tens of materials at a time in just a few minutes of this recording. It's honestly not much, but in just 8 minutes time, I grabbed all of these weapons and all of the materials that are inside of my inventory right now. The best thing that I think that you all can do is grab whatever weapons are dropped from the enemies in there and then go back and start throwing them into your recycler. Now, a few really important things to note here when you're taking a look at the recycler in my inventory. I got 12 rift crystals, which means that I could rift 2 of any weapon that I want in the game. Not only that, but I also got 8 Eye of the Storm in just 8 minutes, which means that when they patch the glitch that is getting in for free, I already almost have my own entry to get back in. Not only that, but when I'm throwing all of these items inside of the recycler, I'm getting a lot of basic materials back, but definitely some things that I'm going to be able to use in the future, especially knowing that was only 8 minutes of work. I could absolutely get a lot better loot than this if I were to sit in there for 20 to 30 minutes. Things like this don't stay in the game forever, so again, I highly recommend having notifications turned on to the channel. That way you never miss out on a glitch like this ever again. I need you guys to comment down below how many materials you guys got and how long you stayed in the Storm King area taking advantage of this, because it makes it again so that you never break a weapon, but you're also putting out maximum damage as if you were using that weapon, which is an absolutely incredible glitch, especially after a lot of us got these Shatterhorn weapons completely free from a previous duplication glitch. Let me know what you guys think of this down in the comment section below. I hope every single one of you enjoyed this video and enjoy this glitch, and as always guys, this was Crafty and I'm out. Peace. Help me reach 50,000 subscribers by pressing that sub button in the top right. And if you guys haven't already, check out that video in the top left. YouTube thinks that you'll like it a lot. Peace.